Welcome to Leiden. This is our hometown. This is the place that we get to live all year round, and that's still pretty amazing. But we thought about it, and we go to all these other cities, all these other places, and we've never even shown you our city that we get to call home.
Yeah, we felt like it deserves the proper respect. So here we are.
But we decided we couldn't just tell you about places that we like or go around the town and show you some of the hot spots. We wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more challenging. But we're going to show you it through the lens of ChatGPT, which is an AI program and part of, the AI revolution's going on. You may be aware of this because you've been seeing art that's generated by AI.
So weird.
But now that there are technologies that are out there, you can actually ask a machine to give you answers to normal questions.
And you and I have used it a little bit in our work, so we've had some experience with it. You more so than me.
Yeah, and it's not some sort of all-knowing, omnipotent thing. It's read billions of pieces of the internet, and essentially what it does is you ask it a question or you give it an information, and it will try and answer the question best it can. You can ask it to tell you the history of Leiden. And then you can say, well, now tell me that history as if you were a pirate from the 1800s. And
you loved that.
Now, Tracy and I can't be outdone by robots.
Oh, absolutely not.
So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to show you our version of the same question, but from our lens.
Yeah. And from people who have lived here for a year and a half, and by no means were we experts, but we think we have a pretty good handle of the city.
Yeah, and we're going to tell you what a machine couldn't do and tell you like a good place to go eat or a good place to experience things, because robots can't smell the flowers and tell you what that's like.
No, they sure can't. So Travis, what did our ChatGPT robot friends, what did they say to do first?
Number one on the list was to go to the Rijksmuseum here in Leiden.
Well, there's a few Rijksmuseums. So Rijksmuseum Van Oudheden,
yes,
which is the Antiquities Museum. Mm-hmm. And we've lived here a year and a half and have not had the pleasure of visiting.
Even though we have museum cards.
Yes.
We probably should have done this by now.
Well, thanks,
no
Mr. Robot Friend, for suggesting we do this. I'm excited.
It's really close to Central Station, so it should be super easy to get to. Let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
I have to say, that was a lot cooler than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I did not realize that it's like the archaeology museum of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And it's in our backyard, essentially.
Yeah. It's really, really easy to go in there and kind of get lost because there's so much of the stuff from Egypt, a lot more than I expected, really. And on top of all the Egyptian stuff was all of the Greek stuff that was there as well. And I didn't realize how much of the Roman history was actually from here in the Netherlands.
And Middle Ages history, too.
Yeah. It's really interesting how in-depth it goes. What was your favorite thing?
So seeing the hieroglyphics in the Egyptian section of the museum brought me like all the way back to 6th grade, where I had to do a report on hieroglyphics and like have my classmates translate a message in the hieroglyphics that I drew out. So it definitely brought back that part of my brain I haven't used in a very long time.
Yeah, it was really cool.
How about you? What was your favorite?
I really enjoyed seeing all of the Greek art as well, all the statues, and then all the Roman statues. Being able to see the Julius Caesar statue was pretty cool. And yeah, all in all, it's a lot more than I expected, a lot more in depth than I expected, and then a lot of stuff that was just kind of off to the side that added more context to everything.
Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we were able to finally check that off of our list. What is next on our ChatGPT robot friend? What does he want us to do?
Well, he doesn't dance like that, but he does say we should walk along the canals. And I don't really know what that means, but I do know some canals that I like walking down. So
sure. I mean, you don't have to ask me twice to walk down canals. So let's go.
Let's go. We decided to walk down the Rhine because it is really pretty.
It's beautiful.
And this drawbridge behind me, it's really nice.
It's like one of your favorites in the city.
With that, though, if we were to walk down the New Rhine, it's Saturday, so there'd be a market there, which I think we'll get to.
Yeah.
And it is also kind of weird because in Leiden, if you're going to go really anywhere, you'll end up coming across a canal, and they're all kind of beautiful.
Oh, they're all super beautiful. Yeah.
Like even the Hortus Botanicus, which is where we're going to be going next, it has a canal running through the middle of it. So no matter where you go in Leiden, you're never that far away from a canal or a river or just a beautiful view. It is definitely one of those types of things that when you walk across these canals, it's just amazing that we get to live here. And it just takes my breath away sometimes. We have to appreciate how beautiful it really is.
Yeah, whenever we're having a bad day, cross over a canal on a bridge, it's definitely kind of resets our mindset a bit into gratitude.
Yeah, and to think, wow, we get to live here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Now, the next place, Tracy, you're super excited about.
Yeah, it's the Hortus Botanicus, which is the oldest botanical gardens in the Netherlands.
Which is wild that that's just like right there. We walk by it all the time.
Yeah, and we've been once before. Not so great weather, but maybe we'll get to explore a little bit more of the outside.
Yeah. The Hortus Botanicus is definitely a lot different this time because we actually got to go outside.
Every time we come here, it rains.
I swear it does rain every time we come here.
We have filmed a video here, not specifically about the Hortus Botanicus, but we've filmed using it as a backdrop prior. We've not been here when everything is in full bloom.
Yeah, it's kind of a miss for this season to come here. I think it'd be prettier maybe later in the spring or in the summer. But it's still really nice. And this is our first time to go through the Japanese area, and that's really cool.
I didn't really know this existed, so that's pretty cool. I'd say another win for ChatGPT. What do you think?
I think it's good. The next one is an interesting one because, again, it's a big landmark that we've kind of missed on going into. We've been around it.
We have. We've had wine underneath this next landmark. So where does ChatGPT want us to go next?
ChatGPT wants us to go to Pieterskerk.
Oh, all right.
And that one's not far, so that one should be an easy walk.
Oh, good. Nice.
Tracy, not everyone's going to know what the Pieterskerk is. Can you give us a little bit of history of the Pieterskerk?
Sure. So it is a former Protestant church in the Dutch Gothic architecture style. and it's no longer a church, but it does have roots from 1121.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of wild. Right now, it's best known for being an event venue, but also being the Church of the Pilgrim Fathers, which has interesting connections to America.
Right, because the Pilgrim Fathers were
like John Robinson, I think is his name, is buried here.
Yeah, and I think it's Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, but
we'll double check.
With that, it's known for basing the people who ultimately got on the Mayflower. Yeah,
really interesting. And across the way is a hofia that has ties to the Pilgrim Fathers as well. We talked a little bit about that in our Thanksgiving video, which we'll link in our description if you want to take a look at that.
Yep. Let's go in. That was actually pretty cool inside.
Yeah, so entrance fee, it's €5 if you're over 12. And you actually enter through the cafe. There's a working cafe in there. And like we said before, it's an event venue, and I can understand why, because the acoustics are amazing inside. We were pretty much the only people on a Saturday in there. So it's like we had the whole place to ourselves.
And I thought it was pretty cool because the Protestants, or the Pilgrims, were known for being very religious, and I think it's hilarious that there's now a full-on bar inside of it.
Yeah, and like a little seating area. It's adorable. I could totally see why you would want to host your event there. It's really fun. Someone had mentioned in an older video of ours that there is a swing in there. It was not out today, but I did a little research very quickly, and I guess the Open Monument Dock there, they put it out, and you can actually go up into the tower on that day. So we may need to make another visit so you can ride on the swing.
All right, Tracy, what's the last thing that ChatGPT, our AI friend, is telling us to do?
This one I very much approve of, and it says to visit the Saturday market.
Which is something we'd probably do most days anyways, right?
Yeah, I think we need a few things anyway, so
let's go check that out. And that's the market. The market's actually really helpful, really useful. Lots of little things you can grab there that are
or big things, like this ginormous bouquet that I accidentally got of tulips for €10.
That's how much €10 worth of tulips actually should be?
This is probably, what, $25 to $30 in the States?
Oh, if not 50.
Yeah. So I think maybe our neighbors will get some tulips. Oops.
Tracy, what did you think of the day that ChatGPT, our AI friend, put together for us?
I think there are pros and cons. I think a few of the pros are it selected some things that we had not yet ventured into, like the Rijksmuseum Van Oudheden. I think there are some downsides. It can't tell when you're hungry.
Right. It didn't give us any food options.
So like if you're starting the day and you're planning on hitting everything in the order that it recommends to you, you're not eating for a while. Yeah. So, plan for that, I would say. It also doesn't really understand the locations of where things are. So like it has you kind of jutting across town. Whereas a human, I feel like you can plan a little bit better. Yeah, I think there are downsides to it.
But that being said, if you were brand new and had no clue what to do in a city, I could see it being a good tool to help you figure out what you should be doing in the city.
Absolutely. There are numerous guides and YouTube videos that will tell you about the places you're going, but it's kind of was a fun experiment to check out. What did you think?
I think it didn't tell us that we necessarily would need tickets for some things. Yeah. Like for the museum and for the Hortus Botanicus, you would have to know those types of things, or the Pieterskerk, we'd have to go buy tickets, that type of stuff. So you really don't get a good price estimate for it. Also, it didn't really tell us where to go look at canals, and so you'd have to do some research into that as well. But on the whole, it was very interesting, and if you were coming to the city for the first time, I could see how those were things that you might want to do and what the city's known for.
Would you do it again with a city we had never been to?
I would try it out. Tracy, do you think you can do better?
Hell yeah, we can do better.
All right, come back next week, and we're going to show you how we do it better than a robot can that's never actually been to the city.
We'll actually put food breaks in there. In coffee.
And coffee.
Yeah, I can't do that. All right. Well, we will see you next week with our way on how we would spend a Saturday in Leiden.
All right. Till then, thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing. Subscribing really does help us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
All right. Till next week. Bye.
Let's get these in some water.
Bye.
Bye.